Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to talk about Kamala Harris. She did concede the election. She gave a talk, about an 11-minute talk, in front of her base out in Washington, D.C. Her base was, or her headquarters were at Howard University. So she was out there yesterday giving a talk. And then with some strange things that was happening. Um, Letitia James, I don't know why she decided to give a press conference, but she wanted to, I don't know if she was trying to put Donald Trump on notice, but she gave a press conference. So we're going to take a look at that. And also your favorite girl that we love to talk about on this show, Miss the illustrious mayor, Miss Tiffany Henyard. She was in rare form yesterday during the Dolton Village meeting, and she came with two lawyers that pretty much didn't know what they were talking about, and some banter went on between the lawyers, and it got pretty intense. So we'll take a look at some of the things that happened in at the meeting yesterday. So that's all on another episode of Business Talks. You guys stay tuned.
Little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap.
You guys put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Please put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. I see we have Celeste Hodges in the building from Texas. It's always great to see you. Tyrone Price is in the building. Chawanne Burns, thank you for another great show from South Carolina. Anger Mismanagement is in the building. Hello from the deep within the Marxist stronghold. Hello. Hopefully you're doing well, okay? Kennard the DJ is in the building. Chawanne, what the word? Nothing much. I'm still on cloud nine because my president got reelected again. So I'm happy about that. I think we're going to see some significant changes. And yesterday, I don't know if you guys are following me on Twitter. I did post it, a post yesterday because I was listening to RFK, and he was saying that Donald Trump, while they were on the plane, he drew a map of the Middle East, and he knew how many troops was in the area and whatever. And he posed a question to one of the generals. He said, "Okay, what happens if, there was a conflict between these two countries?" And the general was like, "Well, our 100 soldiers or 100 something our soldiers would be sitting ducks. There would be like basically target practice." And he said, "You need to get them out." And the only reason why I'm bringing up this story, Donald Trump, has not been inaugurated yet, and he's already on the job. He's putting Americans first. Okay. So why are we, number one, there was no reason for us to be over there. I think it was between, I can't remember the countries he said, but anyway, I doubt if a conflict ever happens, but it's been rumbling that people in the Middle East, it's been a lot of, some conflicts, small conflicts stirring up in these smaller countries. But anywho, he's on the job already, and he's not been inaugurated yet. So I can appreciate that, and I think Americans should appreciate Donald Trump just putting American people first. Celeste Hodges is saying, "Oh, did you see Tiff posts to Trump? I about fell out. That was funny." I didn't go online. I saw some chats and like, "Oh, Tiffany trying to reach out to Trump. She probably trying to get, what is it? Her sentence commune. She trying to get out of jail, get free out of jail card." But yeah, I don't think Donald Trump would do that. You did the crime, you got to do the time. She's not being politically persecuted. She's just doing wrong shit. Stop doing wrong shit. And the FBI wouldn't be investigating you. Let's see. Champions is in the building. Good afternoon, Mrs. Burns. Ultra 80s Retro. Chicago is in the building. And Kennard the DJ also viewing from Chicago, the land of Mayor Brandon Johnson. Yeah, we need to catch up on Brandon Johnson. I got a couple of stories about that. I probably start talking about that next week since the election is over. So you guys, let's get started. Okay, your girl Letitia James, she sent out a warning, I guess, to Donald Trump. I don't know. For some reason, and I hate to talk bad about our people, and just in general, I notice women and just like some really bitchy men, liberal men, are making this election like about them. Have you guys noticed that? I don't know if you've seen it online. They're taking it personal. Like, oh, you must be misogynistic. You must be racist. You must be, all these things. This is why Kamala Harris did not get elected. And then you have your girl Letitia James saying, oh, we've been studying your fight patterns. What? We've been following you on the internet. Are you stalking me? Like, what are you talking about? She's saying this to the president-elect. She held a press conference, and she's saying this to the president-elect, and she's thinking that the Donald Trump is going to stop funding in some type of way from the state of New York. Now, I got two things that I want to share with you. One from the state of New York. This is your girl Letitia James. And then the other one, or the other video I'm going to share with you, this is the governor from Massachusetts. And it's, like I said, this is so weird to me that I believe these behaviors that these women are exhibiting is like really narcissistic behaviors. It's like, I have the whole world to deal with. Okay, we're going to do what we're doing. If we're going to do a mass deportation, I'm pretty sure your citizens of New York want a mass deportation. They don't want illegals in there. But if you don't cooperate, yeah. Okay, then you will have to suffer. Why do you think the federal government should aid you while you're aiding and abetting criminals? Okay. And I think that's why she held this press conference, to tell you the truth. I think because Donald Trump, he ran on mass deportation and getting the border closed and fixed and all that. I think this is why she decided to meet with, I guess, the state of New York. Okay, so this is her.
We did not expect this result, but we are prepared to respond to this result. And my office has been preparing for several months because we've been here before. We faced this challenge before, and we used the rule of law to fight back. And we are prepared to fight back once again. Because as the Attorney General of this great state, it is my job to protect and defend the rights of New Yorkers and the rule of law. And I will not shrink from that responsibility.
Okay, so I really don't understand. Is she trying to target Donald Trump? The reason why she was elected, because, New York is a very liberal state, and she ran on prosecuting Donald Trump for some odd reason. But that's what she ran on, and when he actually ended his term ended, she went after him. That's the 34 count felony that she's mentioning. That she fought back. Don't know why a person will spend so much time in their career saying these on one person. You see what I'm saying? I know maybe you don't like Donald Trump, but why are you spending so much time on one person? I mean, at this point, it's like total harassment. And the people have spoken. It's not like he was selected like Kamala Harris. No, he was elected. The people elected him. You might not like it. You cast your vote, but you're only one person. You don't represent the whole American or the whole United States. So I really think this is really bizarre. I'm trying to find a longer clip. Maybe I got to go to YouTube. But I really think it's so bizarre that Letitia James is focusing a lot of, time and effort on Donald Trump. And you guys put in the chat, don't you think this is like really bizarre that she's focusing on him? And she's making it her life career goal to, I guess, take him down. And you could tell that she is mad as hell. She really hates Donald Trump. Let me see if I can find a longer clip. This is it. That's 57 seconds. The clip that I watched, she was talking about, oh, you know what? I do have the clip. I had it on my YouTube channel, I think. Letitia James. Watch later. Is this it? Yeah. So you guys let me know. Don't you think this is kind of some bizarre behavior for a one person to focus on just Donald Trump? Okay, this is her.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Governor, for convening us. I want to take a moment to thank everyone who ran for office, those who were victorious, and those who didn't get the results that they worked for. There is nothing more difficult than running for office, and our democracy is better off because of your efforts. We also achieved an important step in our efforts to protect our right to choose in New York, and I want to thank Sasha Ajua for all of her efforts, and Donna Lieberman of ACLU for all that they have done to get us to that point. Thank you to all of those who worked so hard to enshrine that right in our Constitution and protected generations to come. I also want to thank New Yorkers for showing up in record numbers to the polls to exercise your most basic and sacred democratic right. And lastly, I congratulate the President-elect Donald Trump. And if possible, we will work with his administration. But we will not compromise our values or our integrity or our principles. We did not expect this result, but we are prepared to respond to this result. And my office has been preparing for several months because we've been here before. We faced this challenge before, and we used the rule of law to fight back. And we are prepared to fight back once again. Because as the Attorney General of this great state, it is my job to protect and defend the rights of New Yorkers and the rule of law. And I will not shrink from that responsibility. You see, between 2019 and 2021, the Office of the Attorney General took nearly 100 legal actions against the previous Trump administration, including when he attempted to cap the state and local tax, and when he sought to eliminate funds and grants for law enforcement officers here in the state of New York. We fought to preserve DACA and protect the Affordable Care Act. We fought to prevent a question about citizenship from being on the census because we were concerned about the impact of funding, the lack of funding to the state of New York and how it would affect these programs. We beat the Muslim ban. We stopped the dismantling of the United States Postal Service. We challenged anti-LGBTQ plus efforts. We safeguarded key environmental policies, and we protected access to reproductive care, and we protected the right to organize. We worked around the clock to defend these basic rights with our Democratic colleagues across this nation. So as you can see, we know their playbook. We know Project 2025 before it was even published. And we have been working both in my office and with other Democratic AGs across this country to make sure that we would be ready to respond to any attempt to roll back our rights. So here we are. We've studied their platforms. We've identified certain possibilities, fact patterns. We've created contingency plans. So no matter what the next administration throws at us, we're ready. We're ready to respond to their attacks. We're ready to respond to any attempts to cut or eliminate any funding to the great state of New York, as the governor outlined. So despite what has happened on the national stage, we will continue to stand tall in the face of injustice, revenge, or retribution. We will continue to protect and our most vulnerable and marginalized amongst us, because it is my sworn duty and responsibility to lead that fight, working with the governor of this great state, Kathy Hochul. This is not the time to be fearful, New York, but faithful and steadfast, knowing that I, as the Attorney General, along with my entire team, we are guardians of the law, and we are prepared, my friends, to fight back. Thank you.
So I know you don't agree with some of Republicans' policies, but don't you think this is a little odd? This is a little odd for her to, come out and said, we studied your fight patterns. We've been monitoring your social media. We identified several plan of attacks. Like, no, because if we're talking about smaller government, right? Smaller government, this is what Donald Trump basically is trying to do. And that's why he's bringing in Elon Musk. If they cut funding, that means you're going to have to cut that program. And not to say the program is not needed. Well, okay, then that will be up to you. If you want funding for that program, then it's going to have to come out the great state of New York, New Yorkers' pockets. But they do spend a lot. The federal government do spend a lot. That's why we are tax heavy. We're tax heavy because of these programs, and we don't see any results for these programs. Right now, they got a housing program in California. They pay these. I've found the job. It's like housing coordinator. They get like $100,000 and some a year. Don't you supposed to be helping homeless people out? That's a program, heavily funded program, and they ain't finding nobody a house or anything. To me, it's a little bit ludicrous. So anyways, it's kind of odd for her to just be on this rant and thinking that Donald Trump is actually out to get her. I mean, that's really odd. It says, Tyrone is saying, report states that the DOJ is planning to drop his charges President Trump charges. Juan Machan, is that the judge? They mentioned that judge. So they're saying that they're planning to drop his charges. I don't know if we're going to hear from that today or what. Celeste Hodges is saying she'll lose. Supreme Court feels she's overstepping. Fox had to say she wants to put a bid for mayor. No, just imagine her as a mayor. Just imagine her. Maybe she'll be a good mayor. The reason why I'm saying that is because she's real passionate. She's real passionate. Trump over. Let me just go back to Justin. She feels safe to do whatever she wants to do to ego and hate against Trump. Yeah. Truth over everything is saying they are afraid of Trump. He's going to use laws currently on the books and laws they created to get Trump prosecuted, them for the crimes that they have actually committed. Yes. Actually, she should be disbarred because I think she oversteps her boundaries. Just imagine Donald Trump. She dismantled or tried to dismantle his businesses, and he's super rich. Just imagine the scary or horror stories that if she has a vendetta against somebody that's less rich than Donald Trump. The horror stories that she just go after them and bankrupt them. Jesse is saying she's looking for attention and a response for Trump, and he's not gonna respond to that. Saul Torres is saying AG must be fired soon. Yeah, you think they will vote her out, but I don't know if she's up for re-election next year or the year after next. I don't know how long her term lasts. Celeste, yes, karma will come around. King Yukon, I would think with everything going on in New York, she might have other obligations to deal with. And, she mentioned DACA and immigration status, because they are asylum seeker or safe haven for asylum seekers. So are you going to protect the illegal immigrants if they try to come in? She said, on one hand, she started off with, I want to congratulate Donald Trump, and then we prepared to work with his administration. Then you went, we're prepared to fight. So are you going to work with the administration, or are you just prepared to fight against everything he's trying to do, or his administration is trying to do? Governor Kay Hochul fired. They need to vote her out. She's nuttier than a nut job. Samuel Matthews, hello. She's an evil con. Why she tripping down? Keratin, hello. Watching some lefty spewing misinformation on TikTok. I love my ad block. Is saying the AG sounds like Tina Turner in her monologue for Proud Mary. She sounds like the enemy of the state. Anthony is what is good. This woman wasted tax dollars getting ready for Project 2025. Shaking my head, right? Yeah, like, I don't know why people keep on bringing up this Project 2025. Look, Donald Trump he's not officially in office, but January 6th, I have a tweet ready. I'm going to be like, everybody go to these buses. They're waiting for you. If you are part of that black and brown community, line up. They're going to come to get you. AG, she is bigger than Trump. The United States Supreme Court and Congress knows that they will have but she can't prosecute Donald Trump. If they throw Donald Trump case out, I believe if she's still in office, she'll be the one. If she's still in office and Donald Trump is out of office, she will be the one to circle back. We got to prosecute him. So Donald Trump better be prepared because she is after him. Anyway, we finna go to our next story. This is with your girl. This was from the governor of Massachusetts. Now, this is only a minute clip, but she sounds crazy too. This is why I'm saying they like exhibiting these narcissistic behaviors, because it's really odd. Donald Trump end up getting elected. He's like literally the president of the United States. And you're one state, okay? Why are you going on this news conference saying, oh, we're going to do whatever we can to fight back? What are you talking about, lady?
For the sake of their states and their...
If the Trump administration requests it, would the Massachusetts State Police assist in mass deportations?
No, absolutely not. But, you know, let me say this.
If the Trump administration requests it, would the Massachusetts State Police assist in mass deportations?
No, absolutely not. But, you know, let me say this. I do think it's important that we all recognize that there's going to be a lot of pressure on states and state officials. And I can assure you we're going to work really hard to deliver. Some realities also need to be, noted, and that is in 2016, we had a very different situation in the courts. And while I'm sure there may be litigation ahead, there's a lot of other ways that people are going to act and need to act for the sake of their states and their residents. There's regulatory authority and executive powers and the like. There's legislation also within our states. So I think that the key here is that every tool in the toolbox has got to be used to protect our citizens, to protect our residents, and protect our states, and certainly to hold the line on democracy and the rule of law as a basic principle, right?
Okay. If you really want to protect your citizens and to protect your state, why are you protecting non-citizens? You're doing a disservice to your citizens by protecting the non-citizens. So essentially, she's saying she's not going to cooperate with the mass deportation. So, I mean, I don't know how Massachusettsers feel about it, the residents of Massachusetts. But if I was there, I would probably be looking for another state to live in. Because this is kind of sound kind of crazy. It's like, you have so much love for illegal immigrants. It's kind of ridiculous. And the people have spoken. Like the people literally have spoken. The majority of the people want a closed border. Majority of the people, they want a mass deportation. They don't want illegals over here. Matter of fact, after they showed that report that you guys wasn't, well, I couldn't blame her, but the people border patrol they was just letting them in here, into the United States without even doing any type of background checks. And even if they did background checks, they just let them go. To me, that doesn't make any sense. So you have no idea what type of people you have in your state, and you're willing to risk your own residents. It doesn't make any sense. This is why I think, liberals are losing their shit right now over one person. And apparently people like him. He got elected. He got majority of the votes. I just don't understand. Now, your girl, Kamala Harris, she did concede the election. She had an 11-minute speech. Nancy Pelosi was there crying. She was crying. I think Kamala Harris, she was very, I guess, diplomatic. She talked about doing a peaceful transfer of power. Joe Biden actually said the same thing. They congratulated Donald Trump. And they're saying that they're, willing to work with his incoming administration to have that smooth transition.
And full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting. To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran, and the way we ran it, over the 107 days of this campaign. We have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future.
Okay, blah, 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 blah. You lost. Okay, you conceded the election. Very good. This is not why I wanted to play it. I just wanted to give you, a take on how Kamala Harris sound. And she sounded like she was crying all night. She sounded like she was crying, or maybe she had a lot to drink the night before, because her campaign, did you guys know her campaign raised $1.4 billion? Okay. They raised $1.4 billion, but they spent $1.6 billion. That's what this says. Kamala Harris campaign failed $20 million in debt in the final week. How in the world you had 1.5 or maybe 2 times more budget than your counterpart or the opposing party, and you still didn't win? You didn't even come close to winning. So that's probably why they pissed off at her. But you know what? They shouldn't get pissed off at her. Whoever she had as a campaign manager, they completely suck. Her campaign manager should not be able to work nowhere ever. Number one, you're out of touch with the people. You kept on sending these messages of kill your babies, and that's not what the message that the people wanted to hear. And then you was on this reactionary thing. Oh, we're going to do this for black folks, after the black men is saying, oh no, we don't know Kamala, and we don't trust her. So, we're going to do something for black men. Here's some weed. So, and then the Latino said, oh, no, we're not going to vote for her. Oh, vote for me. Here's some enchiladas. That's literally what she was doing. She was basically pandering to her audience. We didn't know Kamala, but she spent $1.6 billion, and they were saying that campaign failed in $20 million in debt during the final week of her campaign, according to several sources. A Kamala Harris campaign staffer confirmed to Breitbart News that the reports of the Harris campaign has $20 million in debt is real, adding that Jen O'Malley Dillon, the Harris campaign chair, reportedly blew through the $1 billion in a few months. Jen O'Malley Let's see how she look. Nobody should ever use her for any type of campaign. Jen O'Malley look woke as hell. Look at this lady. You could tell she woke. She probably got a couple of trans kids. She probably got a couple of trans kids and talking about my body, my choice and all that crazy shit. Okay? Let me enlarge this so y'all can see it. It says the Harris campaign chair reportedly blew through the $1 billion in a few months, and the concerts that the Harris campaign held with celebrities such as Katy Perry, Lizzo, Eminem, Bruce Springsteen were reportedly all Jen's idea. All Jen, that's what I said. Oh, we got to get the black vote out and the gay white men, I guess. Katy Perry, who likes Eminem? I guess the young people, you know, they like Eminem. Maybe older because Eminem is kind of old school. So, but the crowd that was coming to those rallies, they didn't look like Eminem. You know, they were coming for Eminem. I don't know how many people he attracted, but anyway. The campaign staffers explained Jen blew through $1 billion in a few months, and it was all Jen's idea to do all the concerts. And the campaign staffer said, as a result of being in $20 billion in debt, Rob Flaherty, the deputy campaign manager for Harris campaign, is reportedly currently shopping around Kamala's fundraiser email list to anyone who wants to try to raise the money back for the campaign. The staffers told Breitbart News, it's going to be hard to get people to raise more money, right? Is that even legal to raise more money? Number one, after she lost by a landslide. She lost by a landslide. And I think Kamala Harris was so bad at whoever picked this. I wonder who picked this Jen girl. Who picked her? Because, you know, this wasn't Obama's campaign manager. But this was her idea to have all these star-studded events, and it did not resonate with the people. O'Malley Dillon reportedly prioritized the concerts with celebrities at the expense of the other campaign priorities, such as spending money on social media. The Harris campaign staffer told Breitbart News. Now, this article reminds me of them telling on each other. They're trying to blame each other within their camp. Kamala Harris lost tremendously, okay? Remember I told you a couple of days ago, they're going to use Kamala Harris as a prime example of what not to do. But Democrats, it sounds like, even on the mainstream media, liberal media, they're not even understanding. I don't know who's going to be the person to say, hey, let's step back. Hey, we did some things wrong. We're not in touch with the American people. We can't just bring Cardi B to shake her ass and Megan Thee Stallion to shake her ass because, I mean, it's fun. But the people that are coming out to these concerts is not resonating with them. They're not as stupid as you think they were. Because, or bad Trump bad, hate Trump hate is not a good campaign strategy. You thought you was going to run on that because it proven to be a great strategy for Joe Biden. But you did such a bad job in the economy, and you're in office now. It's not gonna fly. And that's why it didn't fly. Okay, it says people didn't like working with her. The campaign staffer told Breitbart News about O'Malley Dillon. Many people on the campaign felt like we lost because Kamala wasn't allowed to run her campaign. They were running Joe Biden's campaign instead of Kamala's campaign. So basically, Joe Biden sabotaged her campaign. They were running Joe Biden's campaign instead of Kamala's campaign. Obnoxious and very much a gatekeeper in interfering with the vice president's people who were trying to do their job. I don't know if it was pretty much Joe Biden. It might have been Jill Biden. This is the rumor that's out. Jill Biden really don't like Kamala, and none of their staffers like Kamala Harris staffers. And I don't know if Kamala Harris I don't think she's easy to get along with. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because you've been in politics for all this time. You don't have a trusted person to do your campaign? Just one trusted person? Even her daughter. I mean, not her daughter, but her sister. Wasn't her sister on the campaign trail with her? Or doing something with her? They could have pushed back. Like, no, this is my campaign. You got to do what I say. That's if she really wanted to win. Or if she I didn't think she had a chance, but you know, this is all allegedly. We don't know. And it's saying the Harris campaign staffer also informed Breitbart News that several people who had worked on the Harris presidential campaign were still awaiting several overdue payments that they were promised for their work. Okay. So they were behind in payments. Breitbart News also says a Washington Bureau Chief Matthew Boyle pointed out on a post on X that Kalian Dorr with MAGA Incorporated have been flagging the very strange financial activities and check writing of the Harris presidential campaign prior to the election. This is Matthew Dorr. He said, remember before the election, and he tagged K-Dorr, was flagging a very strange financial activities and check writing of Kamala Harris campaign. Turns out Kamala went broke in the final days. That's why Kalian nailed it. And then it says Kamala Harris campaign ended up with $20 million in debt per two sources familiar. Harris raised over $1 billion and had $118 million in the bank as of October the 16th. There needs to be an audit on Kamala's campaign finances. Top to bottom, donors and supporters of hers must be furious. Where did the money go? Maybe they siphoned off the money. You know, $1 billion is a lot. And she has some corny ass ads. I should have saved that one. You guys, I don't know. Well, you're on YouTube now. Some of you. You're viewing me on YouTube. But did you ever see that Kamala Harris ad and it act like you was winning the lottery? Like it was like a Price is Right show. Kamala Harris is planning to save you $5,000 in taxes for first-time home buyers. You know, it had that, and then it had like the bold letters and characters like yellow, something you normally don't see with a typical political campaign ad. I don't know what type of viewer you was or what type of voter she was trying to attract with that one, but it was pretty odd. And I thought it was almost like, is she for real? Is this a joke type of campaign? I wish I would have kept it. Let me see if I could find it. But anyway, before I get to that. And it says Kalian Dorr posted, MAGA Incorporated has found some very fishy going on with Kamala's HQ media buying down the home stretch. In order to pay their tab at the station in Tennessee, she had to cut several different checks the same day. More evidence of cash flow issues. So 1,085. In 2,000. So you can't pay a 2,000. Just imagine you raised $1 billion and you spent it all in 3 months. And you still didn't win. If Kamala Harris was smart, I think Kamala Harris, I wouldn't have spent, all the money on the stars. She could have had like a couple of events to attract. And the events, I probably would have held them at like some of the schools, That would have got a lot of, like the bigger schools had rallies there if they would have allowed it, Have rallies there and get some of the kids there, riled up the younger voters. That's number one. And number two, she should have did, and I don't know how their campaign worked. She should have did a lot of grassroots door knocking campaign in these battleground states. That's what she should have focused on. And especially, like Pennsylvania, she should have spent a whole bunch of money in Pennsylvania and get, a lot of people to volunteer to knock on doors. And maybe they didn't have a lot of volunteers. Maybe one of the strategies, remember early on when she first announced that she was going to take over for Joe Biden, they were paying social media influencers, like to show up to the DNC events and vlog and say negative talking points about Trump and positive talking points about Kamala, and they were giving these influencers like upwards of $10,000 for like a weekend, paying for flights to come out to the DNC, and you basically bought support. Nothing was really real. So I think that's one of her problems. And the other problem, she didn't do enough grassroots work. She didn't actually pound the pavement. And that's what she should have done. In order to pay her tab at the news station, she had to cut several different checks. More evidence of cash flow she issues. Did she blow it all on Lizzo or Beyonce? Well, Beyonce, she only spoke for 4 minutes, but $10 million, that's a drop in the bucket if you think about the grand scheme of things. But if you're really for the cause, why would you, number one, why would a person say, hey, I really want you to get elected. By the way, I'm going to charge you $10 million for me to speak 4 minutes. It's all a gimmick. If you for me, you for me. You should be just doing that because you want to really save democracy. You see what I'm saying? Even Cardi B, she didn't show up for, because she loved Kamala Harris. She showed up for that paycheck. That's why she couldn't, say anything from her heart. That's why she needed her phone. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this whole debacle. I don't know how they're going to get that money. And I don't know if it's legal for them to actually still raise money. The election is done and over with. Unless the DNC has, when they're raising money, I guess they raise money all the time. It probably comes from some type of PAC and maybe they'll have to pay it, I think that's probably what happened, Keratin is saying, even with the star-studded events she lost, that's sad as hell. Exactly. That's how the DNC got all the money. Yeah. Some of them Oprah viewers and some of them view Lenny, I don't know what you're saying. Mark says renting the crowd isn't cheap. Yeah, you need 10,000 bodies to act like they're excited to be here. I seen one of those They were like paying $65 to show up to like one of the rallies and hold a sign. She really didn't put boots on the ground like she should, right? Lenny is saying rent a crowd and rent a clap machine like from the left. You know, you hold up the, everybody clap. Justin Thompson saying Adam Schiff was promoted to a senator. Callie is so sad. Really? When was this? I got to go back and look in that. Celeste saying sum it all up. Those yellow buses, LOL. Marvin Smith is saying Kamala got pimped by Beyonce. You know what? I think let's go back to Jen O'Malley. They said it was her idea. Look at Jen O'Malley. She got pimped. She looked like the typical liberal that would say, remember that guy that got beat up by the 4 police officers in Memphis? About Tyrese Nichols. She's the person will say, oh, it's white people's fault that Tyrese Nichols got beat up. It's our fault. It's our fault. We're the racist ones. It's like, no, he got beat up by some black guys. Like, what are you talking about? So, you know, she'll get bullied. Oh, black people. And she probably think black people are kind of stupid, right? That, you know, that's their MO. They think a liberal white woman, they think, you know, they got to feel sorry for you. I don't know if you guys remember, I was talking about how California School Board, they had some type of meeting. It was a Zoom meeting. And she was telling the other educators on the Zoom meeting it's wrong to correct black students on their improper English because it's racist. No, you're there to teach them proper English. They learn Ebonics at home. That's why they go to school. They can't go to or get a job talking Ebonically, if that's a word. They can't get a job talking about acts. No, they can't do that. She looks like that type of person. But anyway, she got pimped. She truly got pimped. So we gonna move forward. We ain't gonna talk. You guys, like I said, put it in the chat. Let me know what you think about that. Our next story. Do I want to play this? I'll play that maybe tomorrow. I don't feel like going through these crazy people. They give me a headache because we got another crazy person I want to talk about, and that's your girl Tiffany Henyard. Okay, Tiffany Henyard was in rare form today or yesterday. Last night she was in rare form, and it seems as if that, you know, Tiffany is the person that you literally will have to hand her the paperwork and hand everybody else the paperwork, and, you know, so they could read along with you to prove her wrong. And she will still say these are all lies. That's how Tiffany is. She will continue to say, she will have the evidence smack in her face. She will say it is lies. Until she get in front of a judge and they force her to start answering. Like she started crying in front of the judge when they were talking about her nonprofit. Let me just pull this up. I'm not going to go through all of it. But you see Tiffany
All right, good
arrived.
evening, everyone.
She's there.
Thank you for coming out this evening. Today, I would like to call to order the regular board meeting. Today is Wednesday, November 6th. All right, so hello, everyone. First, I just wanted to thank
And these are the audience, or the citizens, or the residents' comments.
About to be Mayor Jason House and the trustees for allowing us to actually have a meeting somewhere where it's safe, it's disability accessible, and it's somewhere where we feel comfortable. Next, I just wanted to just look at the current administration and just ask y'all, why won't you step down? This is an embarrassment to Dolton. This is an embarrassment to Thornton Township. This is an embarrassment to all of us residents. William Moore's here. He's not even on the payroll anymore. This is just like a game to a lot of them, and these are our lives that are in jeopardy. Tiffany, she's not anybody that would represent me as a black woman, as a single mother. She is a complete joke. She has put so many lives in disparity. Like, there's so many people that are hurt behind her leadership, and she has no care in the world about it. It's just ridiculous that she do the things that she do and don't even care about the lives that are affected behind what she do. I asked a lot of people to vote for her. A lot of people to vote for her. I come to this meeting every month because I'm going to continue to ask her to step down. I feel like myself, I've been bamboozled, I've been hoodwinked, led astray, because when I asked people for her vote, I wasn't myself. I had a tumor. So a lot of people know my story. So I wasn't right in my head, but now that I'm right in my head, I'm definitely asking everybody to make sure that they vote Clean House 2025 to get her out of that seat. I just want to say that I saw her post, and now she's a Trump supporter. The other day at the meeting at Thornton Township, you was talking about Kamala Harris, but now today you post that you Team Trump, and you want to send him a message for what? So you can get out of jail early? That makes like no sense to me on why she would want to be a Trump supporter all of a sudden. Anyway, I know that this is going to be a movie, and I just ask that Beyonce play me if she's watching this, because I know that a lot of people will be watching this, and I just want to make sure that we all know that Clean House 2025, we definitely got to vote this corruption out, Thornton Township and Dolton, because we don't deserve what we're going through. Thank you.
Greetings in the name of, okay. Greetings in the name of the Father. Look, I would say I got a litany of things. Can you hear me? I'm gonna start with revenue for any and everybody for the next year. When it comes to the warrant list, I really would like for us to be able to sometime pick it up ourselves and see it on one of the agendas when we come to the meeting. I also want to know what's in the TIF fund, if we are messing with anything in that. I also want to get around to the crossing guards, how many are needed, how many do we have, and I do know we don't have enough because I'm out there volunteering with the crossing guards, which never bothered me because teaching and the crossing guards are my first love. The ordinances, when it comes to, one time I think Belcher spoke about it, the ordinances for us to ask certain questions, to be it the mayor, the trustee, or whomever, that they be allotted maybe 1 minute or something like that to answer us, and our time not be interfered with it. I'm only cleaning, I'm clearing the Bush homes, because if it's clear in Las Vegas, you know, when it came to the community, you've been knowing me a long, long time, so I still want to hear how it's clear here when it came to that, because we need clear here when something happens somewhere else. We don't want it to keep lingering on here. I also want to know where we are on these payouts for the lawsuits that we have here in the Village of Dolton, when it comes to where we still stand with water reclamation. And, you know, true to light, that Robert rule, you know, there ain't no liberty without no rules, so, you know, we got to start kicking hard with these rules. You hear what I'm saying? Is also, I'm going to try to get through. I still think I got some time, and, you know, I'm going to go straight to what connects us is our humanality. You hear what I'm saying? And we've had a lot of dissension here in the Village of Dolton. This is an old village agenda. Y'all want to know how many pages this is? And it also has citizens' address put into it. We simply need to not go back to the old ways and the old days. And as I lovingly had asked this young man, y'all got to put some clothes on Chicago Road. That's called revenue. Either way it go, we got to have so much consistent revenue coming in here. We've got to get better when it comes to our police department. We can't keep having officers not wanting to come and work in our community. We can no longer turn away from officers that are doing things that they shouldn't do in the community. And for God's sake, when it comes to outsiders, do y'all have to help me get some kind of ordinance to keep outsiders out of here? Because when I say between 2021 and now, I ain't saying we dodged no tsunami, but you know what? We don't need no more water disasters hitting this community. And now that I mentioned water disasters, who check our hydrants? Who's responsible for checking our house? Pardon me?
That's your 3 minutes.
That's my 3 minutes?
Yes.
Boy, y'all better be glad I love y'all.
So yeah, the residents, they went back and forth, stating their complaints. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of that. Thank you, Big Wave Dave, for the $10 super chat. Big Wave is, he says the Dems never wanted to bring this country together to bring unity. Despite their overwhelming loss, they continue to push for a fight. Yeah, you know what? Democrats, they're saying that they're a party of for everybody, but they love divisiveness. And you see how mean-spirited they get when they don't get their way. Very mean-spirited. And it's kind of crazy that they tried to gaslight people. Number one, when they first started campaigning, they gaslighting people for their vote. And then now they're gaslighting you because you didn't vote for what they thought was important. Really ridiculous. Anyway. So yeah, the residents, they stated their claims during the meeting. I'm not going to view the whole entire thing, but I did want to get to this part. I think it was.
You can go to the GA department. That's general assistance. And yes, you have to qualify for something.
So Tiffany, I don't know what's up. Do you guys hear this? Put in the chat. Does it sound good to you? Because it sounds kind of muffled to me. She's mad now. She's mad. So she's mad at the residents because they spoke their mind.
Services. So when you get up there, you saying that we didn't approve, you don't have this or don't have that. Maybe you did not qualify for that service. So GA department helps you with your light, your gas, your water, your mortgage, your rent, and also we help you bury your loved ones. Things that wasn't done before I got there, right? So these things that I created. We also have a transportation department. So if anybody is in need of a ride to or from the polls, or if you need a ride to or from the grocery store, the doctor, we will take you and we will pick you up. We also have senior services. Senior services does a lot of community engagement, which I love. Everybody knows that. So I do a ton of events. Because when I do events, y'all call it parties. When somebody else do events, y'all say, oh, look at them doing community engagement. That's what I do as your super mayor. So if you are interested, you can sign up. Call 708-596-6040. Again, that number is 708-596-6040. After school program, because y'all know I love the kids. I don't care what nobody say. I love the kids. If you need help with your kids, and it's almost like a free daycare. I hate to say that, but that's what kind of what it's like. And you work a 9 to 5, and you get off at 5 o'clock. You basically sign up for our aftercare, well, I won't call it aftercare, after school program, and basically we will pick your kid up from school. We will take them to our location, which is in Riverdale. We will help them with their homework. We do penmanship, which they out of the schools, and we also do bilingual. I'm real big on learning a different language. So all these type of things we have at our township location. So if you're interested, all you have to do, again, call 708-596-6040, and you can sign your kid up. But please come and get them. Some of y'all leave them there after 7 o'clock. We close at 7. Come pick your babies up. So that's it for programming. Next, vendors. A lot of y'all come to the podium and y'all talk about things that you got no concrete evidence of. When you spoke about you're not getting paid and y'all addressed the mayor's the one that's always trying to pay everyone. I am not the one holding up paying you as a vendor. I'm not the one that did not put you on the warrant list / bills list. But guess what the Board of Trustees have done? They put all of themselves on the bills list to get paid for back pay for conferences. They put it on there to help their friends get paid. It's all on the warrant list. But if you want a copy of it, I keep telling you, for you. Freedom of Information Act, and you will know what I know. So when I speak up here, sometimes people have to listen. All the hate blocks the listening ear. You have to listen to both sides and then understand what is being.
This is why I don't like Tiffany. They're listening to both sides, and the other side is presenting evidence, but you're just talking. It's like you're talking, but you're not presenting evidence. All they know is they're in the deficit and they can't pay bills. That's basically what's happening. They really can't pay bills. They're playing catch up. And so you're trying to, and isn't this the first meeting with her, a full meeting since Lori Lightfoot did her report? I know she did this grandstand, that last meeting and left, and this lady was with her. But I think this is the first meeting of them actually sitting down in a full meeting. I don't know. Tiffany is always saying, I have the evidence and they're lying. But no, we already seen the evidence and we know you're lying.
Said and what is going on. When you get one-sided narratives, then you go down a false narrative and you don't understand what is going on. But I have always fought for vendors. I've always fought for people to get paid, be paid, because you do a service here in our village, especially the people that clean up the police station, the village hall. I want you to get your money. I think the Board of Trustees should pay you. They are the one that created the warrant list, bills list, put it together, and they sent it to us. They have been doing that for several meetings now, and they haven't added you. Come on now. It ain't the mayor. So I just want to point that out because I think everything should be on there. Something else you residents don't know. Do you know that we are in dire restraints over at the village hall? The VA, y'all have a whole VA, village administrator, let them tell it, that it's never at work, that does not do their job. Do you not know that they did not have paper today? Clerk knows that, clerk he knows that. I came and asked for copies of challenges. She didn't have no ink. She didn't have a lot of stuff, but people want to get up here and lie, but that's cool, they keep lying to y'all. You can ask the department heads. They have a lot of things that they're missing in our village as it relates to simple things like supplies, doing day-to-day operation, invoice, papers, all kinds of stuff. But these are things that you don't hear about because they don't want you to know about it. But if you ask the question and find out the truth behind everything that's going on, instead of just, oh, they said this, that don't make it right, that don't make it true. It can't be that they telling the truth and I'm not. Come on now, you got to give me the benefit of the doubt like you would do anyone else. So I want to point that out. Next on here that I wrote, I want everyone to know, yes, Trump is our president. You have to accept it. You have to deal with it. You have to live with it. People can be mad, be in their feelings, but guess what you cannot do? Take away his presidency. He is the next president of the United States of America, 47th president. And our job as real leaders, this is what real leaders do. We reach across the aisle. We say, hey, congratulations, you won. We did. Unfortunately, Democrats didn't do their job. We have a committeeman, which never is anywhere, no podium, never there, and they was at the polls doing nothing. And I said this in my live video, so when people want to rehearse and say what I say, get the facts right. It was no signage outside. It was no literature, no 110s to be passed out to you as a palm card. No one guided or directed the people. That's what they don't tell you or show you. But watch my live. Y'all say y'all follow everything I do. You will see with your own 2 eyes that it wasn't there. As it relates to trustees or other people that could have been outside doing what they do, they weren't helping. They were trying to help themselves to pass you a piece of literature with their faces on it, but not give you something to help guide you in this very, very important historical election that just passed. So yes, Trump did win, and congratulations again. This is me saying it publicly to our new president of the United States. Now we have to work together, because guess what? What color makes blue? Red. So we have to collide with the colors and make it work out for the best of our ability. So I want to point that out. Next, what else I got here? All the energy that you guys place into me, I wish you would pour that into yourselves. And that means your lives, the love for your family members. If you pour that same energy into yourself, you will be so much further in life. But yet y'all come here, I don't understand, it must mean you got number time on your hand, and you come here and waste time to talk about negativity. I don't push that, I don't produce that. I care about people, I push love, I focus on leading with love, and you should too. It's shameful that a lot of you guys are our elders, are the people we're supposed to look up to, are the people that's supposed to guide us, but yet you're not guiding us. We don't look up to you because you're so negative and you're so filled with hate. We must stop that, guys, because guess what? Our youth is watching. I took a ton of youth to the polls yesterday, a ton of them. But did you guys do? But push hate. So all I'm saying to you guys is look in the mirror, focus on yourself, focus on your life, focus on your kids, your husband, your wife, because the energy you're giving me, you can give that to them, and maybe your life will be a little more better, a little more smooth if you just do the same thing you're doing to a person you don't know, but you're a big fan of. So I want to push that and point that out.
Just shut up. Just shut up, Tiffany. You sound stupid. Let me play this. You guys, this is... Let me just see if I could. Hear it. Okay, this is from Sweets and Gossip, okay? Sweets and Gossip channel. And she basically cut the video up where Fania Dukes actually confronted Andrew Holmes during the meeting last night. And, you know, she has every right to be upset. The only thing I would question, how did that case get dropped in Las Vegas? Because, you know, they decided not to prosecute Andrew Holmes. So what happened? I want to know what happened. Why did they drop the case? So now she got to look at this fool every day.
Him to admit that he did it, and she also wanted answers to why he haven't, basically spoke out and said anything. Now, Andrew Holmes had a nonchalant attitude in one clip, and I don't think I have it in here, but he did reach for his microphone, and Tiffany stopped him from speaking out. That pissed me off. I really wanted to know what he had to say. And this is Andrew Holmes right here. You can see that he's sitting there so nonchalantly while Fania Dukes just poured her heart out wanting answers.
That's the only person I fear and thing I fear besides going to jail. So I'm not going to go past him like he told me. But I only come here to say, because my state said what they said, and a lot of police say what they say when they say things like this, so I'm going to ask you myself.
Sorry, you guys. This audio is like horrible. This is horrible audio.
Why would you do that? Why?
Tell her why.
And if I'm lying, all these people right here on camera, her, all these people, tell them I'm lying. Is that why you never said anything? Is that why you disappeared? Is that why? I'm supposed to be scared of you? Hell, motherfucking no. So tell me I'm lying, or tell them why. That's all I'm saying. I'm staying here for the rest of my life.
We stand with you for them. We stand with you.
I'm gonna say no. No.
Okay, so this is, I don't know if this is better audio, but this is Fania right here.
I want to start by saying there's nobody like the God I serve. And I only want to say that because he only allowed me to come as far as this podium. And that's the only person I fear and thing I fear besides going to jail. So I'm not going to go past his foot like he told me. But I only come to here to say, because Las Vegas said what they said, because a lot of places say what they say when they say things like this, so I'm going to ask you myself. Why would you do that?
Tell her why.
And if I'm lying, all these people right here on the cameras, her, all these people, tell them I'm lying then. Is that why you've never said anything? Is that why you disappeared as soon as this came out? Is that why? I'm supposed to be scared of you? Hell, motherfucking no. So tell me I'm lying, or tell them why. That's all I have. I'm staying here for the rest of my life.
We stand with you. We stand with you, baby. Stand with you.
All right. My minutes ain't over. It's over.
It's a shame. Thank you. Do your time, baby. Instead of makes a difference in Chicago. Praise. We stand with them.
I don't hear you. I need to see you got so much to say in front of all the cameras for everybody who's missing or dead or shot or whatever. But you do something, and now I'm a victim. So stand up for me.
Yes. Yes.
Say it again.
Yes. Right.
And you allow me to trust you, Uncle Drew?
Yes.
Remember I did do that because you ain't let nobody mess with us. Not the two live crew. I would have never thought, ever. I don't hold my proposal for this. I would have never thought that you would have ever. So tell them I'm
Yes. Tell her. Justice for Fania. Yes.
not going to dress her because we all can see that. That's cool. I already figured that out. Me growing up under her. Me growing up under you, G. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Trustee, hold on. Let her finish. So don't go back and forth. Hold on. We had a board meeting. Trustee, you have this opportunity to speak, but this is not fair. Don't go back and forth. You can say something when you're done. All right, you got 30 more seconds. got 30 more seconds.
She,
Wait,
you're an
let's put the video back and forth. I'm gonna give you the floor.
Don't let her mute you.
Let her finish.
Don't let her mute you. Say something. She deserves it. She's a victim.
just like she didn't
She's a victim.
she didn't care.
Just say it now. She's been waiting. She's been waiting. Say something.
All right, your time is up. Thank you so much. All right, thank you.
Right, because she knows she shut him up for a reason.
Thank you.
She shut him up for a reason. She deserves that. Speak.
All right, guys, you're not gonna get a statement if you're out of order. Simple as that. So, okay, it's over with. Y'all can have a seat. Let me finish my meeting. Drew will have the opportunity to speak, but it is not right now. So thank you. Thank you. Next on the agenda is. Oh, you got another person? Oh, I didn't know. I thought she was the last one. Go ahead. You have 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
This is crazy. I don't know why well, I could see why she didn't want him to speak because, he gonna self-incriminate himself, What can you say? I did rape you? Like, what are you gonna say? Or he could totally deny it. Like, I didn't do nothing to you, girl. You tripping. He can do that. Anyway. So Tiffany was in rare form. Then they get to talking about the budget. And they went back and forth with the budget. Let me start it right here.
Hello, is there a motion?
May I read the warrant list into record, Mayor?
Go ahead.
Okay, the bills for November 4th had the corporate payments of $614,503.11. Gross payroll October 4th, $422,069.88. Gross payroll October 18th, $433,424.09. Melanie Fitness Center register $1,244.32. Total corporate payments $1,471,241.40. I motion that these bills be paid.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Since you never answered the question for the electronic list, the TNT cleaning, which the young lady just stated that they're 4 months behind, but it's only 1 month on here because all the other months have been approved, but it's on the electronic warrant list. So I'm asking to remove it off the AP list and leave the $3,200 that's on the September invoice to be paid because all other invoices have been approved, they just haven't been paid out. But I am saying this so it does not conflict with, it was on the electronic warrant list that was paid through the American Express, and I thought we didn't have a credit card, but and now it's on the AP warrant list. So that's the only reason I'm asking for it to be removed because it's 2 different places. I want to be very clear so they don't think that I'm saying that not to pay y'all, but every other one has been approved by the board. The check just has not been issued.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, so for me, I have several things that's on this warrant list that you guys created. Core Consulting Group, that's the IT. I don't think they should be paid as it relates to they haven't even been in the building doing work. Our employees have been sitting for months without anything to do. This is stuff y'all don't know because they stopped their internet access as it relates to email and then also systems access. So they couldn't produce or do any work inside the building. I brought this up. I've told it to trustees, especially Belcher, and I spoke to several other people about this and they did nothing about it. So that's number 1 for the IT company. Number 2, just to show you what I was saying, Odison. He got several invoices on here, and it's for $136,000, $580.52. That is for Odison. Which I'll say we broke, can't buy paper, pens, and ink. This is my point. Next, the other issue on here, you got Tammy Brown. Y'all say we broke. Here we go, Tammy Brown for $619.82. That's for Tammy.
As it relates to Tiffany Henyard, she's going through these invoices like she doesn't know the process, okay? They got to approve it, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to send out the check because they literally don't have any money. So I don't know why. Tiffany is like the showboat shenanigan. I know this guy is like, what did I get myself into? She don't look like she know what's going on, but this lawyer, he looking like, why am I here? And what did I get myself into?
Last one, y'all had Kiana on there. Last one after that, y'all had Clerk on there. Y'all put everybody on there every single cycle, but residents y'all miss it. So if they that broke, why stop? Don't pay y'all. Y'all say conferences, you ain't got no money. So don't pay for that and pay for the supplies and the things that's needed for our village to operate. On here, y'all put Robinson Engineer, and that's what I was speaking to. I added that on there as a line item to pay them their money. You only put on here for $5,116.33. I think they should be paid all their money. If you're paying your attorney $136,000, you should pay them all their money, because guess what? They are our water operator, something really important, something really crucial. If that goes down or goes wrong, we are in trouble. But they're not paying the people that do the important parts to keep our village above water. So I want to point that out, and all what I stated was for the record. So that's my statements. Do you guys want to remove Tommy Brown from this warrant list?
Excuse me, my $619 supposed to come out of fund that is for training for the trustees, which was $10,000 that we never seen. So my $619 compared to your $200,000 is nothing compared. So you want to talk about $619? Talk about what you have spent.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Trustee,
Absolutely.
hold on.
Let's
so
talk
trustee,
about it.
you got that all so wrong. And that's what I stated before.
All the trips that
you gonna let me respond to
and
you?
haven't brought
Y'all
back
can't worry about what I do. I didn't take
you
anything from
I
here.
can see if you're taking a trip and
Nothing
you bring
from here.
something back
Show
for
me.
it. You're not bringing
Show
back
me.
anything
Show
for
me,
it.
trustee. You said a lot of lies. Please show me.
Man.
You keep saying I travel from here. Y'all mix up both bodies of
We just
government.
don't see you there.
Okay,
All the other mayors are there, along with their board. We just don't see you there. So my 619, I'm entitled to it.
Trustee, you shouldn't be getting 619 if the community is suffering. If the community is suffering, you guys shouldn't be getting anything. That's what y'all don't understand. You should not be getting 600 of anything because we are.
Why is she arguing about $619 and she done put the village in $6 million in debt? Really? Like, Tiffany is something. I think something wrong with her. I think she's slow.
Without concrete to fix holes, we are without clamps to do water main breaks. Trustee, are you done?
No, I'm not done
Okay,
yet.
I'm gonna let you finish. Then I'm gonna start.
This audio boy is something else.
Again, we are in this position now because she screwed up the money. So now you want to point fingers at everybody else. Point the finger at yourself. The reason why these vendors are not being paid because she didn't pay. And then you go out and get contracts, and who signed them? Who approved them? Again, do your job and know your job. Everything that's supposed to be with these vendors is supposed to come before the board, and they have not. So you got people on this warrant list from 2021, 2022, 2023. Now you tell me whose fault is that? When the board has voted to pay these vendors and they're not being paid. So whose fault is that? Somebody answer that for me. Whose fault is that? And you want to cry about $619. I'll give you $619.
All right, well, give it back to me, please. I want it back. So today, take your name off here and give the $619 back. So you're going to make a motion to give it back, trustee? So make sure you give it back. So let's clear up some things, because this is where they confuse you guys at. As it relates to them getting things for travel, it is a bill. This has nothing to do with a paycheck. So when she make innuendos about, did you get your check? Y'all got y'all check too, and y'all don't do nothing. So this is a separate bill that comes off the list. So she's getting that extra $619.
I just want to recognize Clerk Keys for her face. She always so stoic, but I know she cussing her out in her head.
As it relates to budget, and she says a budget line item, it's a budget line item to travel for anybody. So how is it good for them but not good for me? You cannot say tomato. You got to sit here and basically go off of what it is. Right now, trustee, you just said you want to give it back. Please do that. Amend this warrant list and give it back. Because I'm going to call you on your bluff and you won't even give it back. So let's make a motion. Let's make a motion.
Money is there for training. The money is there for training.
So basically,
at the end of the
give it
day.
back. Give it back, trustee. So do y'all want to amend that motion? Because trustee just stated she want to give the money back. Okay. She want to give the $619 back. Do anybody want to amend the motion?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Amend the motion. Trustees? Nobody?
Can we get it moving?
Trustee, you don't run a meeting. I do. That's your problem. So you just stated you want to give the $619 back. So
it is 8:14. Can we keep it
put your money
moving?
where your mouth is.
Can we keep this?
Tiffany, why don't you give all that money you spent illegally back? All that the $5 million or $6 million that's missing, why don't you give that back?
we get back to business?
Our own business.
Can we get back to business?
Discussion. You talked all that
Can
stuff
we-
about
can
you
we
wanted
get
to
back
give
to
the
business, Mayor?
$619 back.
Can we get back to
So let's
business?
give it back, trustee.
I
Make
got
the
a motion to call the vote.
Amend it, and let's go.
Second.
I didn't call for the motion.
That's a lawyer. Rihanna, that's a lawyer. This is another lawyer. I think this guy knows more about city regulations or city governmental stuff. I'm not for sure what she does, and I don't know if they're from the same law office. Probably so. And I don't know who's paying for it. It's probably coming out of Tiffany's pocket, or maybe she's assuming that the village is going to pay for it.
You guys cannot supersede me, and that's y'all problem. When we in discussion, we're in discussion. At the end of the day, you made a statement. I'm calling you on your statement. Your statement was, I will give you the $619. Cool. Let's make
Mayor,
amendment.
Pardon me,
and
Mayor.
give the $600 back.
Parliamentary procedure. You have two attorneys sitting next to you. You can ask them. They can make a motion for the roll. They absolutely have that right.
I still
There's a
have to
second.
acknowledge you, sir. So until I acknowledge you,
I don't
in
care.
discussion.
I don't care if you acknowledge me or not. You have two attorneys here. Ask them what the parliamentary procedure is.
Okay, it don't work like that. So you can be smart mouth all you want. You should take $436,000 out. That's what you should do. If we that broke,
Okay.
why you over here taking all the money from our village?
Okay.
If we that broke, you should give all that money back.
There is
So,
a motion and a second to call the roll.
so anyway, as I was stating, we're in discussion, and as it relates to discussion, I'm stating that Tammy Brown should give her $619 back and 82 cents. I'm also asking for the board to give back the $136,000 that Odison and McGrath and Frazier and Murphy is getting. You should make a revised motion to give everyone their money.
Let me clear the air. Let me clear the record
You out of
here.
order. You out of order. You said you had nothing else to say, right? Okay, then don't say nothing. So that is my
Don't say
motion. Those are my motions as it relates to
The $619 is on the warrant list to
should
be
give it
paid.
back. It's amazing
not
you got so
paid.
much to say.
It's not paid.
Trustee.
It's on the warrant list to be paid.
Correct. So take it out. Take it out.
I'm done.
Thank you. I thought you was done a long time ago.
Are we calling for the vote?
All right, so that's what it is. Okay, so nobody wants to do it, right? All right, call the roll.
Call the roll.
Thank God. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown. Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes. Trustee Belcher. Motion passed to pay corporate bills, AP warrant list.
Okay, remember, when you walking down the sidewalk and you trip, they could have paid for it. All right, here we go. Is there a motion to approve an ordinance 24-015, engaging the village? And it's not the village, it's trustees council, let's clear that up. Legislative council as the attorney for the municipal officers electoral board of the village of Dolton. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, so the attorney has advised me, which I know you know, because you're a lawyer down there, knows this too. This is an improper item placed on the agenda. This board has no merit as it relates to the electoral board. They know that, I know that, and he definitely knows that. So you guys cannot put a motion on the floor before this body to choose your own legislative counsel to be the counsel for the electoral board. So Attorney McGrath, I think you should advise your client, whoever placed this on here, that that's not legit.
With all due respect, Mayor, you're completely wrong. There's been a motion and a second. It's properly on the agenda. Either one of the attorneys sitting next to you can advise
And the
you.
attorney did just advise me, sir, and that's why I'm speaking to it.
Mayor, if you could just let me finish. Either of the attorneys can advise you. If they call to question anything on the agenda, there's another procedure they could follow and take that to a different venue, and I welcome them to do that.
Okay, so let's call the roll.
Okay, so he stated that it is still improper. I stated what I stated for the record. It's illegal to do. And then also, just so people understand what this is, because a lot of people don't understand this lingo. We have an electoral process.
You don't understand the lingo.
Challenges you as it relates to you filing your petitions. When you file your petitions, we have to create a body as it relates. Okay, the attorney want to explain.
Counsel, with all due respect, I advise the mayor that this is not.
You out of order, stop. Go ahead.
I advise the mayor, council, that this is not the municipal officers electoral board. That board is different from this board. This is the Village of Dolton's trustees board, right? The MOEB is a statute, is a creature of statute, according to ILS 510, 510, council. This is not that board. That motion should be properly addressed by the proper board.
Are we in comments, discussion?
No, we're talking, the attorneys was talking to each other as it relates to that it's an improper item on the agenda, and he just gave him the rules, the state statute of where this item should be. It's not before this body, because they do not control the electoral board. Guess who controls it? It's myself, it's the clerk, and it's the senior trustee. Those are the three individuals that's on the electoral board. They know that, I know that, we know that. So to put it right here for a vote before you guys is improper. It's not the way it works or goes. Let alone you want to basically appoint your legislative council when you're the one being challenged.
That's not true.
When you're being challenged in that process. So I'm just pointing that out as it relates to what's going on.
So there was a motion and a second. Are we in discussion?
I understand that. So you gonna let me finish?
I want to talk.
All right, he said, go ahead. Y'all gonna vote on it? Go ahead. All right, call her up. Trustee,
Are we in discussion?
oh, y'all got something to say? Go ahead.
I do.
She been said she has something to say.
To be very transparent, since he started quoting ILCS, whatever he was quoting, it would be unfair to anybody when Mayor Hinyard is running, Jason House is running, the clerk is running. So for it to be no inconsistencies and nobody saying somebody did this wrong and somebody did that wrong, the purpose of putting this on the agenda is for the county to be the electoral board where they're not biased because of all of these people that are running are be there. So yes, you are the mayor, but if all of y'all are the people that's on the ballot, that would be unfair. So the purpose of this ordinance, and I'm sure if you read it, you would see that it's for the county to come step in so there will be no biases of anybody that put in any objections, because the only person that put in objections is DeMarcus Quigley against us because they couldn't find nothing else to do.
So just for the record, you still got it wrong. Everybody that knows the process, been through the process, remember, I've been elected since 2013. As it relates to you removing someone from the body, if you feel they're biased in any way, they do a public member. That's how it goes. They bring a public member in, and they replace the person that's sitting there, especially if they're the one running. Yes. That's how it goes. So for you guys to try to supersede the process and place this on the agenda is wrong. That is not how it goes. Like I said, y'all give misinformation to the public and not the right information, but this is your way of, again, trying to control the situation at hand. Please do your homework, residents, before you just believe the hype of what goes on around here. But we're done. I got you. I'm letting it go. All right, moving on. Call the roll.
He told her to just let it go. She's wrong. But you know, Tiffany, she has to argue. Even if she's wrong, she's going to argue her point to make people believe that she's right. Okay? And then, you know, to me, it's baffling. Why do you have to argue all the damn time? All the time you're arguing. It doesn't make any sense. You arguing about $610. You arguing about an ordinance. You arguing about just to be right. That doesn't make any sense. And I think the reason why she's doing this because she knows she's wrong. She spent $6 million. Actually, she should be in jail. She should be ashamed of herself. She spent $6 million, and this is why they're going back and forth like that. Because Tiffany effed up the village.
Please.
I will. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Abstain.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes. Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right, next on the agenda.
And Trustee Holmes, why are you there if you're not voting? I think all the votes that they issued out, he didn't vote on none of them. Why are you even there?
Motion to approve ordinance number 24-016, amended Title 5 of the Municipal Code of the Village of Dolton concerning penalties for violations of the Village Animal Control Ordinance. Is there a motion?
I'll motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, is there a motion second? Any discussion?
Yes, so at the last meeting, we had discussion regarding residents receiving high fines for their loose animals. We had the discussion, and myself, I've spoken to some residents, and with speaking with the board, we decided that we don't want to outprice Well, our job is not to make the fines so high that the residents cannot afford them. We do understand that accidents happen with dogs and animals, so we do understand that. So we changed the fee and the fine. Instead of it being $500 on the first offense, we changed it to $150 for the first offense, $250 for the second offense, and $500 for the third offense. We are in hopes that residents just be mindful of your neighbors. We do understand that accidents happen. However, we want to also be safe, and that's the main goal. So we are changing the price, and we will make a lot of other changes over the next few months. I've noticed enormous amount of animals loose. I've been in this village 20 plus years and I've never seen so many stray animals. The problem is not the animals that are that the residents own. The problem are abandoned animals. So we need animal control. I brought it up once before. You stated that we have animal control, but what you really meant is we have an animal control vehicle. So we do have an animal control vehicle that you purchased unapproved by the board, $80,000. It was approved by the board, but there was no process. And when we see here, that's our whole concern as a board, the process. It's not necessarily that the ideas that you come up with, we're not against the ideas, but everything needs a process and a procedure. So we are supposed to have animal control. We should have found certified people to run the animal control. Right now, our issue is, we had an issue, I called around, I've done my research, I've spoken with the county. They have an issue because they said that we have an ex-officer who wasn't following the process. So because they wasn't following the process and they were doing unimaginable things with the dogs, the county suspended our need to, they're not allowing us to operate right now. So we need to
They don't have a license to operate animal control. You guys, let me know if you live in the village of Dolton and y'all been overran with dogs. And then Tiffany bought a vehicle. If y'all can't hear, this is good. She bought a vehicle, an animal control vehicle, for $80,000 and didn't get approved. Now you had this bootleg animal control. That's the lady they fired. I don't know if you guys remember her. She used to sit at the end of the table. And when they did, they laid off a bunch of people. She was one of them. But she made them lose their license. That probably was Tiffany's friend or something she hired. So she wasn't a licensed professional, but I guess she was abusing the animals, picking them up. It's not funny. It's kind of sad. But now they about to argue about this. They about to go back and forth. And Tiffany's so wrong. She calls out one of the residents while she's talking about the animals.
Do is figure out how we can become licensed with the state again so that we don't have these issues and that we could eventually hire someone certified to run animal control so that we can have the animal control in place for the residents. I also called the Humane Society. Once upon a time, we did have animal control, and the process was when a resident called, the animal control would pick up the animal and they would take them to the Animal Humane Society. Well, they said that we owe them money. So right now, they're not allowing the animals to come there. So the issue is now we have all of these animals, we have nowhere to place them, so they're just running around the town, procreating and making more. When we just want to get control of the issue. So this is the first step. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? I think you guys should pay the bill. Pay the bill, you guys want to take time. So that's an excuse. And as it relates to these ordinances that you put together, I think you guys are way behind the 8 ball. Y'all had over 3.5 years to do something, and you guys haven't created anything. But now, guess what? It's election time, so you're digging in the crates trying to create whatever possible, such as play with animals. I think that you guys are going down the wrong road with the animals. I think you guys should leave the fees where they are. I think you should actually increase them, because what they don't tell you, or they're not telling you, is you know how many people have got attacked by dogs in Dolton? These are all police reports right here. Police reports. People getting mauled to death. Did y'all know that in Dolton? These are reports that we got. But yet we talking about charge $100 for.
Tiffany held up blank pieces of paper. She claims that all those people got attacked. Let me see.
Give you a story. We was out running about what with anything, but now guess what? It's election time, so you're digging in the crates trying to create whatever possible, such as play with animals. I think that you guys are going down the wrong road to animals. I think you guys should leave the fees where they are. I think you should actually increase them, because what they don't tell you, or they're not telling you, is, you know how many people have got attacked by dogs in Dolton? These all police reports right here. Police reports. People getting mauled.
Look at them blank papers. These are blank papers. Tiffany lying. Tiffany lying. She holding up a stack. I told you that's what she does. You know how many people got attacked? She put a regular piece of paper on there. How many people that got attacked? And all these stacks, all these papers are blank. This the only one that got writing on it. Like, Tiffany, what are you talking about? Tiffany is up there lying through her teeth. And then you arguing about animals. Okay, so if I get attacked by a dog, I don't sue the city. I sue the dog owner. Now, you guys tell me, if they got just loose roaming dogs in the neighborhood, can you put, or can you actually sue the city? I don't think you can, because the dog belonged to somebody, right? I mean, unless, it's just one of those homeless dogs, but still, you don't hear people suing the city because they got attacked by a dog. They usually find the owner and sue them. So Tiffany, when you saying you want to go up on the fees for what? I mean, unless you collecting the dog, and the people are charging you or suing the actual city because they got attacked by the dog. But if you have a fee on the dog, you issue a fee, that means somebody owned the dog, right? So why would you want to go up? Now I could see going up because we got to get somebody out there. They charge us X amount of dollars, and then maybe this dog, if they bit somebody, they got to get euthanized, but that goes through the court, and usually the owner has to pay for that at that point. So I don't know what Tiffany, I guess she just want to argue. She want to argue. She's grandstanding at this time.
All the death. Did y'all know that in Dolton? These are reports that we got. But yet we talking about charging $100 for a loose dog, a pit bull. I'll give you a story. We was out running about 2 months ago, Will? 2 months ago. When I say a pit, was that a pit? What kind of dog that was? A pit was loose. Chased a male lady down the street. She was screaming her heart out. I had to call the police because we weren't going to get bit too. We waited, called the police, but when the police came, the person came and got the dog already and left. I asked the young lady, is she okay? She wanted to still work, do her route, but these are issues that we got in our town. Another issue, I drive around the town, this is what people should know about me because I care. So about school time, I'll say 3:30, you had 2 King Corsos, I think I got them right, them big vicious dogs, loose. These are all recorded because I called the police. So these are all in reports that you can go check. So remind you, kids getting out of school. So if people running down the block and the dog chasing them, what do you do? Until it happened to you, you will understand why people got strict penalties in place to protect you, resident. Because one guy got ate up, and it was behind Trina Down's house by 2 pits or Germans or something, he said. She told me. So I'm saying that to say that when all this happened, and the man had to get skin grafts. So y'all talk about these things, but don't look into it and do it all for a click and views and for a political gain, but yet y'all ain't doing y'all job of research. You should leave the fees where they are. You guys should actually increase them and hold people accountable, because when one of those dogs get loose, what are you going to do? All you going to say is we're going to charge them $100? That's it? But your person's ate up sitting on the ground. Like, make that make sense. It makes no sense.
Well,
to me. I think you guys should revisit this, either table it for another day.
This doesn't make any sense. Her argument doesn't make any sense. I own the dog and it attacks somebody. So 1, you get a fine, okay. But number 2, the owner has a right to, or no, the person that was attacked, they have a right to sue the owner, right? And then you come in and, pick up the dog or whatever, call the cops or the pound. They probably have to put the dog to sleep. I don't know what the laws is in Illinois, but one doesn't have to do with the other. The fines has nothing to do with the person getting injured. Okay, you fined them because of the act, but the person being injured, they still not made whole. They got bit, so they're gonna sue the other person, the dog owner. So I don't know why she's, trying to mix up the two. It doesn't make any sense. But I think she just likes to argue,
Or you should increase the numbers so that people are accountable for their dog that is eating up people in our village. So that is my comments for it. I pray that the board consider them and amend that ordinance.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to conclude this before I vote. Again, I heard your stories, and your story is every reason why we need animal control. We need animal control. We need you to figure out how you can make things right with the state so that we can be certified, so that we can actually get certified people to operate the $80,000 plus truck that's been sitting for 3.5 years. And when I stated it, I heard you say, well, it's 3.5 years later, and I never mentioned it. Anyone watching the meetings, which they watch, they know that a few months ago when I mentioned it, you said we do have animal control, Trustee Norwood, and that's what you stated. So all I'm stating to the residents is I know that she done flew from Vegas to Atlanta doing a whole media tour with the whole entourage, paying $50,000 for travel here, $50,000 for travel there. Now we are broke, and she wants to put the fines on the residents of the taxpayers. And to me, that's not fair. So with that being said, I vote to amend the fees so that we're not overpricing it and making it too ridiculous where the residents can't get their loved ones back in reference to their animal, because their animals are loved ones to some people. So that's my stance, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, so let me remind y'all of what's what. As it relates to our animal control unit, we do have an animal control unit, and Trustee knows that. So for her to get up here and lie and say 3.5 years and we ain't had no animal control, because we went on her block that she don't live at. She don't live at the address. I'm mad that I didn't challenge you on that. But anyway, when we got to that address, it was 2 loose dogs that we went and picked up with the animal unit that she keeps.
Oh my God.
And she gonna call and make a post and say, hey, it's 2 loose dogs. Why you didn't call us? Why didn't you call the police? It's kids out there. I got the call from one of the residents to show up and show out and get the dogs. So this how important this is, but she studied, hide behind other stuff, going left on other things. Talk about this. Right here, right now. We need to amend it and make it right. Somebody get ate up. Just remember, y'all look for Trustee Norwood, because she the one put this in place, because $100 is not going to help you with your contract.
Well, she still doesn't, it doesn't make any sense what she's saying. Do you guys get what she's saying? She's trying to make the argument that they should go up on the fees or they shouldn't go down on the fees because, if people get attacked. No, the fee goes to you. What are you talking about? And you still don't have a license to catch dogs. I mean, like, you lost your license. You got to be a one sorry village. You lose a license to catch dogs. To me, it's so crazy. You lost your license to catch dogs, and now you can't hire a dog catcher. One doesn't have to do with the other. You don't have the manpower to catch dogs. So right now you calling the police. But the police are not no dog catcher. So what are they supposed to do? Put the dog down? I'm not for sure. And she's avoiding that problem. That's a big problem. She has a problem with administration. So they go back and forth. William Moore, he spoke. Don't know why he's still there. He's not even on payroll. But he said he's going to continue to show up because he believes in Tiffany here. Okay. I'm just giving you a short version because it's quite frankly, it's kind of boring. Because it's the same rigmarole with Tiffany. I did find Tiffany's post that she's thanking President Trump or congratulating President Trump. She says, "Congratulations, President Trump. You are now the 47th president." Okay. "You have made history by coming back and winning the President of the United States. Tiffany must have wrote this. What a big comeback. Now let's work together. She has no punctuation. The grammar is all wrong. Let's make a big comeback. What a big comeback. Now let's work together. To all my supporters, let's work together and put our differences aside. Trump is now our president, and we must find a common ground to reach across the aisle and focus on the next steps. President Trump, as the supervisor of Thornton Township and mayor of Dolton, I would like to sit down with you and talk about helping the people throughout Thornton Township. I have a lot of great ideas, and I believe we can work together for the greater good. With that being said, let's make America great again. I also sent you a message. Check your inbox. Why didn't she tag him if you was trying to get his attention? Somebody said she really thinks Trump is going to read his DMs on Facebook. This is her talking about, the election.
President! So I pray that it will be. Hey guys, it's your super mayor, Tiffany A. Hilliard, the people's supervisor / in mayor. Today is election day. I hope you guys are super duper excited because today we get to find out who will be our president. So I pray that it will be, you know me, I'm all with the women's movement, Miss Harris. So make sure you go and cast your vote. I know it's rainy, I know it's gloomy, I understand the weather's messed up, but do not, I repeat, do not allow that to stop your voice. Your voice matters. Your voice counts. But you have to go out and vote. If you don't go out and vote, I always say this, you lose your right to complain. Don't be complaining about nothing if you don't want to go change it or fix it. But you have time to do it now. The voting place closed at 7 p.m. You got 2 hours. 2 more hours before it's just all over and they do their countdown. So stay tuned because today history is being made, whether you like it or not. But be part of the history, be part of the story, be part of the glory. But again, I am your super mayor, Tiffany A. Hilliard. I'm out here at the polling places. I've been giving out palm cards. We've been giving out literature so people can know how to vote, who to vote for. And these just people that I research. I always tell you, do your research, but you go in there and push whoever you choose. But just make sure it's the right choice because right now, your voice matters. Our country, our community, the nation. We need you, residents. If you're watching this, you sitting on the couch, that's you. Get up and vote. You know what? Call me. I'm going to come pick you up. And to all my youth, thank y'all. Y'all be coming out in drones for your super mayor. So thank you so much. I have a youth movement going on right now. And that's why they mad. I got a youth movement going on and they out voting in drones. So I appreciate that. When y'all go and y'all read the numbers and do your research, you'll see that the youth are coming out. So that's something that I am doing. I am an inspiration to many. I am an influencer. I do help people and motivate them. So despite what y'all got me going through, this too shall pass. And when it passes, you're going to see victory will be mine, said the Lord. But anyway, back to this voting thing. Make sure you get out and vote. Again, you got 2 more hours. You could Google all your voting sites or where you need to vote at. The sad part is y'all got a committee person. Y'all know that, right? That's why I say, let me educate you. It's a committee person that is supposed to tell you your voting sites, your locations, and they're supposed to tell you when they change the voting site to another location. So one of the problems we had in my city, meaning Dolton, is the voting site at Berger Vandenberg. They moved it to Diekman. But a lot of people didn't even know that. And then a lot of people pull up and don't know where they're supposed to vote at. And guess what? Y'all don't even help them. By then, they're going to go back in the rain and they want to go vote. So please, if you're watching this, do
shut the hell up, Tiffany. If somebody voting, except the elderly, you could just Google polling places. Polling places, you type in your zip code. It ain't that hard, okay? You act like you in the old days where they didn't have computers. She needs to stop it. Like, she's so educated, so knowledgeable.
not
not let that deter you from voting. Still go vote. Figure it out. Or inbox me and I'll try to help you figure it out. But do not let them stop you from casting that vote, because that vote might be the one that matters to make sure that that person gets into office. So make sure you vote. Another issue that I've been getting complaints about. Again, y'all, I'm not the committee person yet. I'm not your committee person. It is that person that don't do nothing. I always tell y'all got to watch how y'all vote. Stop voting because people put people on ballots and on paper and they don't do the work.
And she's an extreme hater, okay? Now you hating on a committee person.
And then y'all call me. I'm the supervisor and I'm the mayor. I am not over voting sites and locations. I can't move them. I can't change them. I can't do any of that. That's not my duty. But I try to give you the knowledge so you understand. So that individual, Napoleon, never there. He basically is in control of all the voting sites. So residents, when you're calling me, you're getting all this confusion is because of him. He is the one that's supposed to tell you where to go vote. And not only that, have y'all been to the voting locations? Y'all ain't got not one sign out. One sign. What the heck is going on? And that's why I tell y'all, pay attention. They are supposed to put yard signs throughout the voting locations, so you know that is a location that you can vote at. But guess what they ain't doing? They job. They not doing their job. So then y'all call me, and then everybody wonder why the people got the love for me, because I'm always educated. I'm always uplifting. I'm always trying to make sure you understand what's going on and that you get another side of the story. So I just wanted to point that out. Get out here and vote. Don't you want them palm cards? This is the palm card I got. I also posted it on my Facebook page. So make sure you go, because that's another thing. They even have literature passing out. Like, y'all late to the dance. Like, how you ain't got literature to give to the people? People need direction. And that just show you they not doing their job. But they want people just to come in and win. And they'll say, oh, we helped. No, they didn't, guys. I'm over here. This is the Democrat area, the Democrat Party. Ain't doing their job on this side as it relates to committeemen. Committeeman is supposed to show y'all the way, and he's not. But I do. I show you the way all the time. So this is the palm card that I got up. I think it's going to be backwards. But I just want to show you. But this is what I posted for you from people that I researched. So you can go and do your own research or pick who you choose. But here's a guide. And this is normally what you would get when you go into any polling places.
She didn't research just as much as they didn't research her. That's how her lousy ass got in office. Tiffany, like I said, she full of crap. I don't know if you guys know, Tiffany's a Democrat. She's more progressive Democrat than anything. That should tell you a lot about her. She doesn't know how to budget money. So anyway, it sounds like Tammy is giving ADHD. She does. She's like everywhere. Anger mismanagement. As long as the criminal element reigns supreme in Chicagoland, this is what we're going to get over and over again. You're absolutely right. LOL helps people going broke. Exactly. You don't help nobody out. You deplete their savings. And I'm surprised. I mean, they didn't do an audit in Thornton Township yet, but I would like to see what's their financial status, or state, because she keeps on saying that they have a $9 million surplus. But remember, before they did an audit on the village, she was claiming that they had a $6 million surplus, that they got this $6.9 million grant, and the grant never came. And she was literally spending the money before the grant came. She never got it. Yuck Photube. Honestly, the National Guards needs to go into Chicago for anything to get done. She needs a IEP. I don't know what Tiff perfume, is that a crawfish or something, or fish? This is Tammy, or this is Miss Tammy. Everyone she doesn't like don't do the work. Exactly. She has the same comment. In the voice of the Cooking with Frank. I'm trying to stop cussing, so I can't say it. Celeste, my kids just walked in, so I'm not going to cuss. Celeste Hodges' IEP is an individual educational plan. You didn't know IEP? I think they had, I don't know if they have IEPs. Oh, you know what? They still do have IEPs. They use them in certain schools, but yeah, she needs an individual educational plan. Tiffany definitely earned a lot and kept a lot stereotypes alive. You're absolutely right. Kennard the DJ, she's going to turn Muslim in the pen like Lil Durk. Exactly. Bob Long, the grants can't come because she refuses to give the paperwork. Exactly. She probably don't follow up on the paperwork. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they fined her, but when Lori Lightfoot did her research, they supposed to file some type of accounting paperwork with the city of Chicago or the state. And they was like ever since Tiffany been in office, they was missing all those annual filing reports. I think it's like some type of budgetary reports. And Tiffany and her crew never filed them. So I'm pretty sure they got fined off of that. Anywho, you guys, I'm not gonna. That was Tiffany. What more can you say? I mean, she talks a lot, but she never really says anything. And she talks in circles. And all we know, if Tiffany's mouth is moving, it's probably a lie. Okay? We really can't trust what she says. We got to research it to see if she's actually lying to us. She might be telling the truth, but more likely she's lying. She is the black Kamala. Yeah, because she's actually black. Tiffany is like Kamala, switching it up every time. Yeah, she's the black ghetto Kamala. Justin Thompson, if is no audit, then there is no grant. Yeah, no audit, no grant. They probably like, okay, we can't see your budget. We don't know. They don't probably know what they're spending it on. So they I'm pretty sure, and it probably has something to do with the American Rescue Plan. I think that's what that money was probably supposed to be from, but she never got it. Anyway, yeah, you got to fact check her all the time. Anyway, you guys, I appreciate you. Let's see, tomorrow, not going to be on during the day. If I do, I'll probably come on at nighttime. And then, but if I don't see you over the weekend, you guys have a great weekend. I will talk to you on Monday.